Good. How old are you?
I just turned 29.
29. What do you got for me on the topic?
I don't know, I didn't expect to be on, but I've been listening the whole time.
Okay.
I would consider myself like a modern woman, but I agree with like a bunch of the things that you say.
Well, we're talking about self-love being selfish.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think to a certain degree it is selfish. I was doing the whole like probably self-love thing before I started listening to you. And I noticed that I was like pretty selfish in all of my actions, and you know, it's that it is masculine energy to only focus on, you know, yourself, making money, taking care of what you gotta take care of, and you don't have enough time to.
Yeah, here's time. Let me. And hello. How at the bottom? How are you, ma'am? With the glasses.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26 and above you, ma'am. Hello in the green.
I don't think her audio.
Yeah, your audio's not working. You're gonna have to bounce back and come back in. So you're 26. Okay. So what do you think about this whole self-love thing?
I agree with your point about the fact that like our generation of women weren't necessarily taught how to be feminine, and like a lot of the push has been more about like focusing on your career, focusing on, you know, establishing yourself. And I feel like I'm kind of guilty of that. Like, you know, my focus has always been about my career. I feel like I'm pretty well established. Like I don't have kids or anything like that, but I definitely feel like I'm getting towards that age where like.
And you're 26.
I'm sorry.
You're 26. Or 20.
Yes.
And you're 29. The other lady. And you're,
Yes.
Okay. Do either one of you want to be married?
Yes.
You want? Okay. By what age? 26. By what age would you like to be married?
So that was the weird part. So when I was growing up, I'd always tell myself like 27, you know, 29, that was when I wanted to get married. And now it's kind of like I'm forcing myself to push it out to 35, but ideally I would like to get married by 30.
Okay.
But it just doesn't seem.
29. By what age do you want to be married?
I would like to be married by like 32, 30, 30.
Are either one of you? Are you seeing anyone seriously?
I'm not. No, not at the moment.
So now the work starts. So my question to you and all the ladies in the audience, all this self-love, going to get my education and this and that, all of it's meant so you can have resources to do what? Because now we get to the point in our relationship and it's like you got this but not that. How are you going about?
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, it's hard. Like, I am in a profession where I make enough money to, like, I've heard you have the conversation with women, like, can you afford to be alone, like, for the rest of your life? I'm blessed enough to be in a profession where I can, so I don't necessarily fit in that category, but that doesn't mean I, you know, don't want a man or that it's not important to me anymore. It's just that when you're talking about women, talking about people that are on her level, necessarily for me, it's not a financial thing, but it is the character that I'm really looking for.
What is that? What are you? Okay, so you know what I'm going to ask? Do you want to be a working mom or do you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
I don't think I'd be comfortable like not working ever again, but I definitely want to stay home with my kids at least until they hit like, you know, that school age where I can work while they're at school and then.
School age meaning what? Kindergarten? What? I don't know what that means. How many kids do you want?
I want one.
Oh, that's selfish. That's selfish. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. Just look up all these. No, I am too, and that's bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying I stop at one. I'm just saying like my.
You said you want one. That's bad. Yeah, no.
I would be willing to have two.
We're already going down a bad hill. You're already going down a bad hill.
What? Willing to have two?
Willing to have.
Yeah, like I would like two. I just like one would be. I like.
Why don't you want more than one child?
Why would I want?
Why would you? Why not more than one child? What's the thought process?
I like my relationship with my parents. I like how close our family was. I like. I don't know. I just.
We're really not. I mean, we're really not a family. We don't have enough kids. We're not a family. I'm an only child too. That's a lie. You're the only person. Yes. You like a lot of attention, and you get all the attention when you're the only child because there's nobody else.
I agree. You do get a lot of attention.
Okay, but what if the kind of men how many men do you know that say you only want one kid?
I've only met like a very small.
Okay, then that's already going to be a problem.
Yeah. No, I'm not limited. Like I said, I'm open to more. I just, I like.
See, I'm gonna tell you right now. When women say they're open to more, that just puts you guys up. When you have to be open to something, we don't want to hear shit from you. We want the women that already expect to come. That side chick have fun with you, but if you got to be open to shit, I want women who are raised for it, who got a plan for it. That's like women like I'm open to being submissive. I'm open to this. No.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying, like, when I was growing up, I was like, oh, I love my family. I love what we've created here. We're very tight knit. And I think I have a great family. My parents are married. They've been married for years. So, what I know, that's what I know.
Yeah, I also know only child syndrome. It's not a good thing. How many kids do you want to have, ma'am? How many kids would you like to have?
I would say 3 is like a nice target, but I'm open to that number fluctuating.
Yeah, I mean, one kid really ain't no family, man. That's too much damn pressure. Look at what's going on in China. The one-child policy is ruining that country. It's a lot of pressure for one kid.
I didn't have pressure. I really didn't. I didn't have pressure. You want lonely? No, my experience, I will say, I've met only childs that it's a different experience. They have the syndrome, 100% agree. I just had a good experience.
I have a great experience, but it was still empty. Okay. I don't know any only child that does not understand how empty it was, and that okay. Either way, it's fine. But here's the reality. Here's the reality. They don't give a shit what you want. It's about what your husband wants. If he wants kids, and you're not going to have, and I'm telling you this, I'll be open to more. It sounds selfish to men. For whatever your reason is, it's like, what do you got to do that's more important than have my kids?
No, nothing.
That's what men are thinking.
Well, I mean, I hear the opposite when women say that they want 3, and then you bash them for like, how much do they need to make?
Oh, don't bash shit. I just do the math.
Right, and so then they realize that like, oh, maybe 3 is a little bit too extreme for what I want.
No, it's not no. Understand the disconnect. I want to be really clear because it's dangerous what you just said.
Okay.
I don't listen. Okay, but I want you to understand. The reason I let women understand is because they're not in the position to pay for the kids. When most women today talk about children, they talk about children in the selfie mode. They don't think about the math mode. They think about not the kids. I say, do you want your kids to be able to go to college? Yes. Do you want to be able to travel domestically and internationally? They want luxury life. If I met a woman who said, I want 3 kids and I could live at an average man's salary and we budget like the rest of the freaking country and I would be happy and submit and we'd be good, that's no problem. It's not the kids. It's the lifestyle they want with the kids because then so. Go ahead.
So what is your advice if the woman is like making enough money and creating the lifestyle that she would want for her family, but there's not like a lot of men out there that can kind of
lower your lifestyle. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Ladies want to know, here's my advice. Lower your lifestyle to match your sexual marketplace value because that's the kind of man you're gonna attract. This is a problem too many women have today. Women today, not you, I'm just gonna say women today are going out and creating the kind of lifestyle I want, but the lifestyle you want has to match the man that can afford that. Because unless when a woman is in a position to be the breadwinner, inevitably you start hearing women talk about, I feel like I got another kid. There's a disrespect that comes along. Why I want to know why our women cannot live at $41,000 a year because that's what the average black man makes, and the average white man makes 52. The average Hispanic man makes 36. So we're.
Is that not like based off of where you live though? Because I know it's super hard to live off of 40K in Atlanta.
No, it's not.
It feels like it. Rent is super high here.
Were your mother and father married?
No, but my
Stop.
raised by my
So how did they do it before then?
I feel like the cost of living was a little bit lower.
No, it's not. Okay, no. Man, I want you to think about what you're saying. How many, if the national average for a four person family is 42,000 total, where are you talking about rent in Atlanta? What neighborhoods?
Well, see, I mean, most of my parents were near. So
What neighborhoods are you talking about when you say living in Atlanta? What neighborhoods?
So when I was thinking, I'm talking about like living in like Buckhead, Vinings area, like closer to the inside of the perimeter.
You are how old again?
26.
And your profession?
I'm an engineer.
When you're in Buckhead, how many 26-year-olds are living there?
All my friends are engineers. That's why I feel like maybe my vantage point is a little bit different.
But I'm saying, man, I live in okay. No, first off, Buckhead ain't where we supposed to be living anyway. You're too young to afford Buckhead. Buckhead is where you get to when you in your 40s. You get a starter home. See, we got our generation, your generation, they want to go directly from college to Buckhead. And I'm like, when I was your age, I was like when I got out of school, I didn't finish engineering, but I went to work because I got sick. But I still worked I got in engineering. I worked in research engineering. So I'm working in a lab and I'm making good money in Houston. I'm living in an efficiency apartment with furniture from IKEA.
Yeah.
And a Ford truck because you gotta start up. Y'all are trying to do too much in your 20s.
Yeah. I mean, I ended up buying a house.
Oh, Jesus, that was the next fucking word out of my mouth. Y'all are trying to buy homes, and this is what makes you unattractive. Gentlemen, start asking, when women ask you where they work, ask them how much they charge for submission, and then ask them, what is their net? Do they have a negative net worth? Because all these masters and bachelors and masters and PhDs and everything else, all that shit don't matter. You're making 75, 80. What is your net worth? And I'm going to guarantee you, you're all in debt. Do you have student loan debt? You have student loan debt? How much? Over 5 figures?
I have 60K.
Over 5 figures. And then you have a mortgage. That's more debt. It's like, why aren't you living in an apartment somewhere?
Yeah. And I guess my thinking, I was like, I know I was going to be in Atlanta for a while. When I looked at what my rent was versus what my mortgage is now, it's cheaper. So I thought it was a better option.
Then why don't you see lots of unmarried, non-black women doing the same thing? Why don't you see them running out to buy houses in their early 20s? Because they're more focused on trying to get a husband.
Yeah.
So the question was the cost of living. You automatically, Buckhead ain't where you need to be. How many men who are engineers have homes in Buckhead at your age?
Not many of them. And no, I wasn't talking about me.
But I'm just saying in general. So what I'm saying is, one of the good things I think people should, because a lot of folks didn't take home ec. And if you're in your 20s and you're making an engineer, you're making double what most folks are making. You're not living in reality. So when you meet a man who's making, middle income, he can't afford your level of living. He may be a hardworking, decent man, but like it or not, ladies, you got to look in the mirror, and that's what you can afford to get on the market. That's what you can afford to get. what's in the mirror, bucket naked, your natural hair out the shower. And I wish I could actually put a formula to it so I could say, that's what, you know what, that's what when we do the archetype, like this is what it is, because as an engineer, would you be able to date a man? Would you look at a man making $40,000 a year? That's all he's gonna make, ma'am. He's not. I don't want to hear he's ambitious and all this other bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. I have dated guys that make around that salary range, and I feel like it always becomes a problem that like I make more or like I'm not in a position where I need them, and I've never been the type of person that's like a guy has to have this, and this in order for me to look at them. I just feel like it always.
Well, if my show would have been around when you were 19 years old, you'd have heard you better find a boyfriend in school before you graduate and get married. Better find it. But because now you're out of school and you can't get men at that level, you got to get men on your sexual marketplace value, and there's going to be a mismatch. There's going to be a mismatch because there is what's called mate value. And 29 at the and what do you do for a living?
I'm an attorney. I know, but I'm also a soccer coach. Like it's not. I went to law school to.
Are you a Delta?
No, sir.
AKA?
No, I was a soccer player.
All right. So, Ebony the attorney. Why do you think I dropped my head when I said attorney? It wasn't because men. Why do you think that? Why do you think of that?
I heard your arguments.
But do you think what I'm saying mirrors the real world?
I do, and that's why, like, people call me crazy when because I talk about you or talk about your content a lot, and they're like,
who calls you crazy?
People that don't listen to you.
Are they successfully married in healthy relationships?
Some of them are. Some of them are. I have some friends that are married and
Okay.
have kids, and but specifically, I like to talk to the single ones about you.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to put them on to some knowledge here that I wish I like you said.
Well, here's what you do. Don't bring that stress to yourself. Just watch, and then once you get married, and they'll be like, "How did that happen?" That dude you didn't want to listen to.
No, they aren't just as once they hear how it sounds, like they're not done. So,
Okay, so why is it that non-black attorneys who are female can seem to get married in their late 20s? And it seems to be prohibitive for black women.
I don't think it's prohibited. I do I have a community here of black women in Miami that are attorneys, and I will say, just we have there's just some I know just that I went to law school with. It's not like we hang out or anything. It's just.
But you're in Miami.
I am Miami.
Ma'am, it is prohibitive for black women who are attorneys married. So I'm saying it's not because you're an engineer or a doctor or a dentist or a pharmacist. It's our culture. And you're in Miami and an attorney as a female. That's going to be really challenging to find a mate.
I'll say this. I consider myself pretty realistic for my sexual market value. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a 10. I think I attract who I'm attracted to, and it generally works out. And I've had the spectrum of men on the scale of what they make as well.
Okay.
So, I've had men that make way more than me, and I've had men that make way less than me.
Okay.
And for me, it's not about that. It's about character. I want.
Well, you're in the wrong city for character.
Well, yeah, I don't. The men I've been dating don't live in Miami.
Okay. When are you leaving?
I'm sorry.
When are you leaving?
When am I leaving Miami? When I find a reason worth leaving. I meet a lot of people here in Miami because they come here, especially
She not listening. 26.
You said what?
You're not listening.
I'm not listening.
No, dear. Listen to me, okay? You're the youngest you're ever gonna be, right? In Miami, by virtue of what it is, 20 years ago I wouldn't say this, but Miami is not a relationship. I've spent 6 months, 6 different trips down there. And every time I go, I see more and more and more beautiful women, and they're all saying the same thing. Miami is not a place where people go to do relationships. Miami and Las Vegas are the same. And Miami's worse because you got so many people down there fronting. People are having a good time. You get a lot of game. And your clock is ticking. So why Miami if you know it's not putting you in geography? Yes, long distance relationships can be done for a short period of time. It'd be far better to live in Austin. If you're realistic, you got to be realistic with your geography too. I'm just saying that you got to be realistic with your geography because Miami. Whoo. Anyway.
I was going to ask you. So let's say you do have that spectrum of because it sounds like she's maybe in the same place that financially you're not looking for a man to make more than you, and you're not necessarily.
What's the question? Make it quick question. What's the question?
You're not turning your nose up either at the 41,000.
Okay.
Is there a point where you still have to quote unquote settle for something, even though it's still not fulfilling those characteristics that you're looking for?
I don't understand. I mean, so I'm not clear. How I'm understanding money. If you're okay with a man who's earning average income,
right,
then you have a broader selection to pick on character.
Right, I agree.
Okay, then what's the question?
Well, I'm saying with women who have strong character and strong work ethic, I think that's kind of where we're having the trouble with dating, is that there's a lot to choose from when you're being realistic about your sexual market value and you don't have these high standards.
No, it's not really. Not really. It's not really a lot to choose from. You start with let's assume you're a wife. You start with the men who want to be husbands.
Right.
That drops the pool drastically.
Okay.
That drops the pool drastically. Dating, the pool is 100. I'm dating. I'm a wife, and I'm dating with the intent strictly to be married. Okay, cool. Do you want to be married? Good. In what time frame? 2 to 4 years. Click. 4 to 5 years. Click. When do you want in 12 to 24 months. All right, 12 to 24 months. Your pool is all of a sudden, your pool is based upon what you perceive as character and then everything else. I'm talking about who are the men who want the outcomes you want. And I don't know many men who run down to Miami who look for wives.
Okay. Yeah, no, I hear you on the geography part.
Well, I'm just saying, so it's a matter of, what are the outcomes you want? And because the danger for you is the same danger that women run into in Chicago and Houston. You make money and the lifestyle leads you to get finessed. You get finessed because some guy can come through with the right game and kind of blase scoop and get about 6 months out of you. Next thing you know, damn, I'm 30. He's just 6 months older.
Yeah, and I guess my question was going to be, like, do you think that we should be focusing on dating people that are older?
Yes.
Like, maybe that would
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and your husband ain't your age. Your husband probably about 35. 35 minimum. Minimum. Because, look, I say this stuff, and there are times I wish I could be proven wrong, but I'm proven more right every day. The men who are you're looking for a man who wants to take on the responsibility of a woman in this and that. And an attorney, really, you should be an asset to a man instead of men fearing you. They should fear the union, but the reason you're not you, but what reason women aren't today is because of this self-first thing. I gotta move it on out, but I would say that you gotta put yourself in the social circle. Are you in the social circle with men of value? That mean they're high value, but men of value, men of productive, competitive, successful, character-driven men. Are you in a social circle where you interact with these men in public regularly?
Yeah. I think I am just by way of like a lot of my tech associates.
Okay, what about you, 29?
I mean,
Nope. Nope, no, there's no yes, but nope. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say not a lot of black men. I'm gonna say that. So yeah,
2.5 black men. We got plenty of black men. This is not okay. It's Miami more than anything else.
that's what I'm saying.
It's Miami more than anything else because of the geography. And shout out to Miami.
Well, all honest, I think that we both kind of represented the other side of that woman here that's not like so far gone on that modern spectrum. It is.
Yeah, but I'm still concerned because there's more and more women talking about they're being overwhelmed with choice. You're really not.
No,
I mean, but what I'm saying is a lot. I talk to women every day, and it's like, well, how do you pick? How do you pick? I'm like, you pick from the if you're a wife, you pick from the husbands, and everybody ain't a husband, just like everybody ain't a wife.
Yeah.
Husbands don't move to Miami.
Yeah.
Husbands leave Miami.
Like, I feel like there's an illusion of guys that, they're on the dating scene and they'll be in your face and entertain you, but they're not necessarily.
You better believe. Next thing you know, they can hit it a couple times. You find out they man, please. I got stories.
Kevin, I was gonna ask you, if only 25% of black women get married, right? That's the statistic.
Uh-huh.
Is it? I mean, when you're in a position like ours, do you take that gamble of still risking it for this 25%? Like, we already know all.
What do you do? If 26% of black women get married, what's the question? Do you risk getting married?
Well, no, I'm not risking getting married. If you want to get married, I'm saying if the odds are already so low,
Uh-huh.
do you tell women to still focus on that, make that?
Yes. The reason it's so low is because women aren't focused on it. The next lowest group of women is 54%. Okay, let me explain to you, and I got to get to the next group. Okay, when you went to college, did you go on campus?
Yeah.
Okay, when you went to college, one thing that I noticed is we went as freshmen. Becky and you were roommates. Becky joined. She went for Rush for Delta Delta Delta, and they was drinking and turning up in keg parties, and she was whole phasing and woo, they was acting. You was finding blonde hairs in the bathroom freshman and sophomore year. Freshman and sophomore year, you likely had a boyfriend or somebody you was dating kind of seriously, because a lot of black women don't want to have that reputation of being a hoe out here on the campus. Junior year comes along, Becky puts up the whole phase, and all of a sudden she comes in there with cookies and muffins and hanging out at the law library, over by the engineering school. She's hanging over where the guys who are future make money. She becomes a tutor or an RN or some shit. And in your junior, senior year, y'all are getting rid of your boyfriend because I'm about to graduate. You're gonna go here and I'm gonna go there. Maybe not you. You're gonna go there and I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna get my apartment. I'm gonna get my little Beamer. And they're like, they're trying to secure the dude, and y'all are going different. So this is the difference. That's why the next lowest group of married women is married at a 54% rate, because they are told to get married at an earlier age. Get a guy, bank on a guy in your college years who has the work ethic, drive, and potential, and work with that guy versus trying to do it the way we do it now. Go out and try to earn and put yourself in a position to try to meet him at the finish line. That ain't how that works.
I want to live in Buckhead. I mean, this is crazy. I think we all agree that there is no point in trying to, break someone's dream down, or, trying to discourage them from getting their dream. But I think it only kind of be a problem when women in this position kind of like, okay, I want to live in Buckhead, and it kind of have impact on the kind of decision that they will make, because like it or not, with this type of expectation, right, if she's not able to afford it, she's definitely going to be looking for a man that will be able to afford that lifestyle for her. And there comes the problem, because when you start to look for that at age 29, you're already in the danger zone, right? And when you start to make this type of selection, try to get this type of a guy that can pay for you to live in Buckhead, it narrows your pool to a very small percentage of men. And it becomes a big problem because when you start to look for that, it will make you reject most men that are really on your level. And that is why you hear these women sound, angry, mad at 40s because they didn't make the right decision. And at some point, delusion kind of influenced their mating decisions and they end up by themselves. Like I said, it is not good to try to break people down from dreaming, right? But at least sometimes our dreams get rooted in reality. Because how many, young people at this age get to live in Buckhead if they don't have the privilege of having rich parents? How do they live in Buckhead? Let's be honest. So instead of you to be looking for the basic things that a human being would need to, get married, reproduce, and all that, you already thinking of, the luxury that is someone in his or her peak years of earning kind of live. Those kind of places are meant for those kind of people that are in their peak of their career, making so much money. But not a young girl that is, growing up thinking of getting a husband. And like I said, they kind of think that, okay, that is where I belong. I belong to Buckhead. And the reality is you belong to, somewhere you can get a house very affordable. That is where you're supposed to start. Then when things changes, you and your partner can, start to try to live the dream that you had. But at young age like this, starting your career and you start to think of Buckhead, I think that is going to be so much pressure on you to look for someone that is so rich. And it's only going to narrow your pool. And when your pool becomes small, we know what the results is going to turn out to be. And I think black women look for basic necessity for life. That's what you should be looking for. Look for those things so that, see, the young lady was talking about the 25% of black women that will get married as if it's something that is a law or it is something that is a rule in America. No, it's not like that. It is for the fact that you guys make wrong mating decisions and it end up dwindling down the statistics. Because with Buckhead, having it in your mind that you're supposed to be living in Buckhead, right? Most men don't fit in that category. Let's be honest. Most men don't fit in there. So you are basically saying, okay, if I was supposed to be looking in 100% of men, maybe 5%, 10% of men can afford Buckhead. So that is what your pool is. And most black women are having this type of mindset. And it is the reason why the 25% of black men out of 100 will get married. But the young lady asks, and it's almost to me like, oh, it is something that is a rule in America. It is something that is like written somewhere that 25% of black women should know. It's the fact that you guys make wrong mating decision and it influence the numbers. So start to look for, decent working men, $42,000, $50,000 a year, man. And the statistics is going to change because, like it or not, the reason why the statistics is what it is the fact that you all are looking for, almost the same person. And that same person that you're looking for is 5 to 10%. So for black women, if you are not earning what they want you to earn, then it's almost like you're useless in their life. And that is crazy. They prioritize career, and when someone being a lawyer like this, an attorney, how many black men are going to match up with that? What percentage of black men are going to match up with that? And one thing I always tell guys is do not take on a lady that earns more than you. It is just going to, it is going to make you miserable. I'm telling you, women don't know how to be in leadership position. And when she's making money, she becomes your leader. That's how they act, especially all black women. The reason why they mostly attend college, bear in mind, the reason why they attend colleges is the fact that they always want to be heard. They always want to have a say in their marriage. That's just one thing I've observed about black women. So do not take on women that are making way more than you. Do not do it. Even if they are trying to prove that they love you or something like that. Is it possible that you get a black woman that makes more than you and still respect you? Yes, submissive, yes, but it's not probable. So always bear in mind that. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.